in. Okay, so in last class we looked at the two variable and three variable K maps, and we came to know that the K map basically they follow the simple equation that is nothing but a plus a bar is equal to 1. This we have looked at in the Boolean case. So similarly here, now we will be looking at four variable K map today, and then we will take two examples for three variable and four variable, basically one example each for three variable and four variable case. Okay. So in this case also in four variable, we have this a plus a bar equal to 1, that rule follows. And we need to remember that from yesterday's that the diagonal elements, we cannot form the groups. Okay. We can form the groups from the horizontal adjacent cells or vertical adjacent cells. Diagonal cells, we cannot form the groups because there is a two variable change. Okay. So that is the case. So for specifically for the case when there is let's say two logic ones in the group and they are diagonal to they are available in the diagonal cells, then we cannot form their group, right? That because there are two variable changes. So again we need to remember that formula, that number of logic ones in the group, okay, is equal to 2 to the power of x, where x is logically the number of variable changes permitted for that particular group. So when it is two logic ones in the group, then in that case you will have number of variable changes permitted is equal to 1. If there are four logic ones in your group, then the number of variable changes permitted will be 2. If there are 8, then it will be 3. 16, it will be 4. So now let us look at the four variable K map. Okay. So the four variable K map, we will have four variables. So we can denote them as ABCD, where A is the MSB and D is LSB. So it will have total 2 to the power of 4, total 16 cells. Okay. And it will basically this 16 cells, they represent the 16 different mean terms. Okay. So let's say the inputs as ABCD, then A is MSB and D is LSB. So we can have the input values of ABCD that varies from 0000, okay, ABCD, through ABCD as 1111. So from 0000, which is 0 decimal, to 1111, which is 15 decimal, there are total 16 values because 0 is also included. So we will have 16 different cells for 16 different mean terms. So very first mean term is our ABCD as 0000, that is nothing but A bar, B bar, C bar, D bar, and so on up to the last mean term, 16th mean term will be ABCD as 1111, that is nothing but A, B, C and D. Okay. And remember we are mostly working for SOPs, so we are working for logic ones. So how this four variable K map looks like, it is shown over here. Parallelly you can copy also. So here you can see that there are total 16 cells. Okay. So the arrangement is done like this, that A and B, A is my MSB, I have taken it as on the top because it is the most important bit, so I am putting it as the top, and D I am putting at the bottom. So you can see here, this is my CD and this is my AB. So how the AB can take the values now? 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. And on the same grounds, okay, CD can take the values as 0, 0, 0, 1, again 1, 1 and 1, 0. So this is the important thing that you need to remember, that in any K map you will find that the neighboring two cells either horizontally or vertically, okay, they have to show only one variable change. Therefore, in this case also, here also, it is after 0, 1, it is not 1, 0, it is 1, 1. Okay. So the AB values are 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. CD values are 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1 and 1, 0. So looking at this, just remember that I prefer to put my MSBs at the top. Okay. Many people try to put the MSB here where I have taken CD, then the numbering changes. Okay, but I suggest that you follow this method because it is easier to remember, right? So it is 0 1 3 2, then 4 5 7 6 7 6, then 8 9 11 10, and then 12 13 15 and 14. So these are the different mean terms. So very first mean term is 0 0 0 0, that is A bar, B bar, C bar, D bar. Okay. Then the mean term comes as 0 0 0 1. So A bar, B bar, C bar, D, and so on. It goes up to let's say again I will take 0 0 1 0, that is A bar, B bar, C, D bar. Okay. So here it is this one, and the last in the first column is nothing but 0011, that is nothing but A bar, B bar, C, D. And the same way you can see that the numbering have been given to you, and accordingly you will find that the numbering goes like this, that is 0 min term, first min term 1, then 2 here, then 3, okay, then 4 5, then 6 7 8 9, then you can see 10 over here, okay, and then 11 over here, similarly 12 13 14 and 15. So this is the last min term which is possible in the 4 variable case. Okay, so what are the possible groups that we can found in 4 variable K map? That is nothing but the group of 16 logic ones. So if this is the case, the final output Y is equal to always 1, because group of 16 logic ones, that means each and every entry is logic 1, and since we are working for SOP, so final output, whatever is the input, your output is always going to be 1. Therefore the group of 16 logic ones will lead to 1 in any 4 variable case. If you look at 3 variable case, the group of logic 8s logic sorry the group of size 8 logic ones, it is always 1. Similarly, here you can see that there is a possibility of group of 8 logic ones. Okay, then you can have group of 4 logic ones, group of 2 logic ones, and finally group of 1. Okay, that means in the group there is only one logic one. Okay, that is always default. And remember, if you do not find anything, whether it is 2 variable, 3 variable, 5 variable, or anything else, the group of logic 1 is always true. Okay, so this particular group you don't have to check the validity. Okay, so validity need not to be checked here, it is always valid. Okay, so that you need to remember, group of logic ones is always valid. Okay, so now this is about 4 variable K map. You just note it down. I'm giving you 2 minutes time, so just note it down, and we will begin the usage of this particular 4 variable K map by looking at the example. Okay, so otherwise telling you the same thing what we have done for variable 3, variable 2, it is meaningless. So we'll directly start using this particular 4 variable K map, because the basis fundamental in any K map you will see that it is following A plus A bar is equal to 1. So that basis is always there, whatever size of K map you take, whatever number of variable K map you take. Okay, so just copy this. Okay, so now let us take an example. Okay, so the generally the digital circuits are designed like this, because we are working on an in an analog environment. Okay, so we do not get actually the digital inputs. Okay, so for example, if you are looking at a temperature controller using digital circuits you are trying to design. So a temperature controller for an air conditioner. Okay, so the temperature is not like this now. Just it is 40 degree and suddenly it becomes 45 degree. It doesn't happen like that. It slowly increase or decrease. Okay, so therefore it is an analog type of information. So we are working for an analog input. Okay, so we need to convert that analog input to a digital. So there is a device which is called as analog to digital converter. Analog to digital converter, that is, in short, it is called as ADC. Okay, then we have the digital information over here. That means we have the bits over here. Those bits are processed over here in the digital circuits, and finally the processed bits is nothing but your digital circuit output. Okay, so I can call it as out bits. Those are given to DAC. This is digital to analog converter, exactly opposite of what ADC is. Digital to analog converter, and then the input is given back to the analog world. So this is my analog world. Here it is analog world, and here again I am giving the analog world as the output. Okay, so generally this is happening, but we are mostly interested in designing the circuits for this particular block only. So for us, this particular block is the important block, digital circuit block. So let us take an example. Okay, so now very quickly I can write an example that, okay, so let's implement y is equal to summation of mean terms, say 0, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, and say 15. Okay, so these are my mean terms, and since it is some sum of mean terms, so it is basically the SOP, right? So it is an SOP form of representation, right? So how we will come to know that which way which number of variable k map I should use? So you should look at the last value, okay, of your mean term, and this last value of mean term is 15 over here. Okay, so to represent 15 in binary, I require 4 bits. That means I have to use 4 variable k map. Okay, this is the simplest procedure. Sometimes it may happen that the last value 15 is not given. So let's say the last value is say 11. So 11 of decimal. Okay, so 11 of decimal is to be represented in the binary. Okay, so it requires 4 bits, right? So therefore I need to go for 4 variable k map. Okay, it may happen that in some of the problems you are given the last value as 7 only, right? So there obviously it is 3 variable k map, but if it is specified that you are supposed to use 4 variable k map and the last value is 7, in that case also you have to follow the 4 variable. Otherwise, if nothing is specified, then by default you have to look at the max value in the mean term expression, and in that case, whatever is the max value, how many bits are required to represent that max value, accordingly the number of variable k map you should select. So in this particular case, so I'm using different color now. Okay, so here the last value is 15 of decimal, which is nothing but 1111 of binary, and that implies we need to use 4 variable k map. Okay, this is the simplest procedure by which you can identify which type of k map you are supposed to use, right? Okay, so the expressions, the mean terms, they are like this: 0, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Okay, so 0, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 0, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and then 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15. So 11, 13, 15. Then it becomes 11, 13, and 15. Okay, so they are the mean terms. So let's say y is equal to, right? So now quickly what we will do, we understood that we have to go for 4 variable k map. So let us draw the 4 variable k map. Parallelly, you can also start copying the things in your notebook. Okay, so it is making the k map is very simple. You make a box first, then you keep on dividing it into half portions. You can see here approximately half portions, and with the practice I think you can do it. Currently you may not get exactly half, but it's okay. So with the practice you can do this. So let's say I denote the variable name as AB and CD, where A is my MSB, D is my LSB. Right? Okay, so now keep on entering the values, the logic ones. So I'll be using different, okay, I'll be using the, so, so 0, then 1, then this is 2, and this is 3, okay. Then there is 5, so 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Then there is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, right? So these are the logic 1 min terms, and the remaining things are zeros. So even if you do not enter those, there is no trouble, right? But for safety point of view, you can enter to verify whether you have done the logic 1 entries correctly or not. So in initial days, you need to enter these logic zeros also, but with a good practice, I think there is no need to enter these logic zeros also. Okay, so now let us start forming the groups. So our first task is identifying the k map size, right? That is how many variable. Second, enter the data. Enter the data, or basically the mean terms. Now third thing starts forming the groups. We are going very stepwise, okay, so that you will not have any troubles. So forming the groups. Now in the forming the groups, you have to very first task you need to do, try to find the max size group. Okay, max size group. So what is the max size group here in this particular example? So the max size group here is 16 logic ones, right? Because it is 4 variable, so you have 2 to the power of 4, so 16 logic ones, that is the max possible. Now let us see whether it is available. So you can see that there are lot many zeros available, so this particular thing is not possible. So then look at second lowest, okay? So, oh sorry, not second lowest, second highest. So try to find the group of, this procedure you have to follow everywhere in all key maps. Group of 8 logic ones, right? So how many logic ones are there? Total 9 logic ones are there. So 8 is possible. So yes, there is a possibility, right? So this is the group. Now just forget it that whether it is valid or invalid. You form the group. Okay. Later on we will check whether it is valid or not. Right. And just I'm telling you very frankly that when the logic ones are in adjacent cells, either horizontally or vertically, mostly the groups are valid groups. Okay. Now that is done. Now the next thing is under this head. Next thing is try to find log 4 four logic ones group. So is there anything which is pending? So no. So how many logic ones are remain? Only one. So is there any four logic group of four logic ones? So you can take it this way, that you can take this particular group. Okay, this is one. You can take it like this, or even you can take it like this. But all these groups are meaningless because we have already considered those logic ones in the bigger group. Okay, so the bigger the group, the lesser the circuit, or the smaller the circuit. And now lastly, we will go for the so-called, try to find two logic ones group. Okay, so now this is the remaining one, so I can form a group like this. Now there is a question that this bottom logic one is that is nothing but 0001. Okay, this is already considered, so why you are taking it again? So this type of overlapping is permitted, because if I do not take this overlapping, then I have to form this particular single group, right? So it will be a single group like this, so it will increase your um, so-called circuit size. So such type of overlapping is permitted. Okay, so now let us look at what is the equation. So for this particular thing, so now it is 8 is equal to 2 to the power of x, so which implies x is equal to 3. Okay, so x is equal to 3, so that means there has to be 3 variable changes permitted. So let us look at whether it is doing the same way or not. So see, look at it. On the top, A is changing from 0 to 1. Let us look at A is changing from 0 to 1. So in this particular entire bigger group of logic ones, so A has changed the form from 0 to 1. Similarly, B has changed the from 0 to 1. So that means this particular variable A and B I can throw out. Okay, similarly you can see here that the C is also changing the form from 0 to 1. So that means I can change, I can throw out the variable C. So for this it is A here, and for this it is B here. Okay, so A changes, B changed, so two variables, and here also C changed. So total three variable changes. So this condition is true. Therefore, this particular group is a valid group. Okay. Now, whatever is changing. So let us say I denote it by some small output name as y1. Okay, so what is the SOP equation for y1 only? So y1 will be A is changing, yes. B is changing, yes. C is changing, yes. D is changing, no. Right, so therefore y1 will be only D. Okay, why I can throw out A, B, C? Because A is now changing from A to A bar. So it is A bar plus A, or A plus A bar is equal to 1. Same thing happened with B, B plus B bar is equal to 1, and with C also same thing is happening. So therefore A, B and C, all these three variables I can throw out. So basically what is happening here, you can write it down like this. So B into A plus A bar into B plus B bar into C plus C bar. Okay, so we are aware of the fact that this is nothing but 1, this is nothing but 1, and this is also nothing but 1. So finally, what is my y1 is D into 1 into 1 into 1. Okay, so D into 1 is D. Then what is remaining? 1 into 1 is 1. So D into 1 is 1. And finally D into 1 is only D. So we don't have to do all these steps, whatever has been shown over here. Okay. Because this is the text method of minimizing the circuit. And we are going to a graphical method or map method. This particular K-map method is graphical method, or also called as simply map method. So therefore, by looking at the graph or looking at the chart, we need to come up with the solution directly. So now let us look at my next remaining group. Okay. So here number of logic ones are 2. So therefore 2 is equal to 2 power x, is which implies x is equal to 1, right? So x is equal to 1. So number of variable changes permitted here is just 1. So whether it is following or not, whether it is valid or not, let us look at. So let's say when I jump from this first cell, this cell to this cell, A and B are as it is. Look at it. So A is A bar and B is B bar, right? While C is also as it is. C is C bar and C is C bar. Okay. Only variable changing, which is nothing but D, which is changing the form from 0 to 1. Okay. So I denote it by Y2, right? So Y2 is nothing but A bar, B bar, C bar into D plus D bar, right? Or you can simply say it like this, that what is the mean term for cell number 1? Okay, the cell number 0. So the mean terms for cell number 0, they are like this: A bar, B bar, C bar and D bar. And what is the mean term for cell number 1 here? So mean term for cell number 1, you can see from, just a moment, you can see from that previous diagram. I think it is, you must have copied it. So the mean term for this particular cell number 1 is nothing but A bar, B bar, C bar, D. Okay. So that thing I am just making use of. So plus A bar, B bar, C bar, D. So what I can do now, I can simply take out the things which are common. So A bar, B bar, C bar, and the things which are remaining is D bar plus D. And we know that in the Boolean algebra, x plus y is same as y plus x. So therefore D bar plus D is going to be equal to 1. So whatever is remaining, A bar, B bar, C bar into 1, and that is nothing but A bar, B bar, C bar. Okay, so we should not use this Boolean algebra text method. Okay, so with the practice and with the experience, you can see that when you try to solve the problems, so by looking at the group only, you can come to know that which variable is being thrown out and which variables are going to be kept, right? So if you look at this particular type of group, then it is nothing but A bar, B bar, and then here it is C bar, because D is changing the form from D bar to D. Okay, so now the last step is basically or you can say second last step actually. So check for remaining groups or logic 1 if any. Okay, if any, right? So we have checked that our logic ones are no longer remaining, all are grouped. Okay, and then since we are working for SOP, so we don't have to worry for logic zeros. So our logic ones are now over. Then the next step is basically form the SOP and implement the circuit. Okay, so how my SOP will be there? Because this sum of product. So Y2 is my product term, right? One of the product term. Y1 is also one of the product term. So what is my final Y? It is sum of products. So it is Y1 plus Y2, right? Or you can say Y1 or Y2. So it is D plus A bar, B bar, B bar. Okay. And the last step is implementation. So here there are no conditions like you have to use only two input gate and all these things. Okay, so simply I can implement it like this: A, B, C, and D. So I do not require D bar, but I require A bar, B bar, and C bar. Okay, so I'll be generating them. So it is not gate for A bar, then it is again not gate for B bar, and not gate to get the sorry to have the C bar. Okay, connect them properly. So now it is A bar, B bar, C bar. A bar, and I have B bar, and finally I have C bar. And all these things, it has been ORed with simply the D. So this is my implementation for Y. So this is my Y2 and this is my Y1. So I got final Y as Y2 plus Y1. That is nothing but E plus A bar, B bar, C bar. Okay. Right. So now you just copy this first and I'll give you 2 minutes time. And if you have difficulty, then you can ask me and then we will go for the next example. Okay. So copy it first. Okay. So if you have doubt, you can write in the chat box. Okay. So there are certain doubts. Let me go through. Uh, there is one question. Is it compulsory to start with 00? Can you unmute your mic and ask me the question?
Hello, am I audible?
Hello. Yes, audible. Tell me what is
Yes,
the
sir.
question?
We started with the MSBs on the top right. So we started from 00, then 01, then 11, and then 10. So can't we
Yes.
start with like 11 and then according to that one variable change?
You can do that, but this is most typically used system. Okay.
So
So
would the solution change according to that, or it will come out to be same?
if you maintain the what is called adjacent cells, horizontal, vertical at one variable change, if you can maintain, then there is no trouble at all. Finally, you are going to get the same answer. Okay, but if you solve it that way, and if you show it to me, then I will be in trouble. So generally, the simplest method followed and accepted by everybody is this what I have told to you. So you also follow the same thing. Okay. So is it okay? Right. Okay. There is another question. Can you repeat this throwing part? Throwing part means the variable change, or can you unmute your mic and answer? Unmute your mic and just ask me the question. Somebody, yes.
That variable change part.
Okay, variable change, right? Good. So the variable change, this throwing part is nothing but the variables which are changing the form. Okay, so you don't have to worry about them. Why you don't have to worry about them? Because we know that at the background of our K-maps, we are running a simple single rule, that is a plus a bar is equal to 1. Okay, so instead of saying a plus a bar, let's say x plus x bar is equal to 1. Right. So whenever we have this simple these K-maps, and whenever you see that the variable is changing, so you can just ignore that variable, because you know that it is x plus x bar. So obviously it is going to get logic 1. X plus x bar is equal to logic 1. And when you take 1 and you multiply with the variables which are not changing, so it doesn't make any difference. So that's why it is said that you just ignore or throw away those particular variables. Okay, so whatever I am saying, if you do some practice, you will gain some experience, and based on that you can understand that the variables which we are changing, you just don't worry for them. Okay, that's the case. Okay, so now I think is there any more? Let me go through the chat box first. Okay, so there are no more questions, so I'll be jumping to the next example. Okay, so we will have another example where we will be looking at three variable case. Okay, one example of three variable case we will be looking at. So that is a nice example that is called as adder circuit. Okay, so directly now I'll be starting with the circuits, and parallelly we will be developing our practice of doing the K-maps also. Adder circuit. So adders addition, actually addition can be of two types. Okay, so it can be half addition and it can be full addition. Okay, it is full addition. I'll tell you with decimal what is this half addition and full addition, then you can understand. And then correspondingly, whatever circuits we are going to develop, they are basically called as half adders and full adders. Okay, so let us take an example and understand what is this half addition and full addition. We will be following decimal addition. So let us say two decimal numbers I want to add. So let's say 39 plus 24. Okay, so this addition I am going to do. The result is expected as, right, 9 plus 4 is 13, and then 3 plus 3 is 63. So this is my expected result. Okay, so how this addition is being happening? So look at it. So when I want to do this addition 9 plus 4, so how many numbers I am adding? I am adding just 9 and 4. And remember, in anything, in any addition, you are at a given time, you are just adding two numbers. You cannot add three numbers in the addition. Please pay attention towards what I am saying. At any given time instance, you can add only two numbers. That is the problem of addition. Okay. So when I do this 9 plus 4, I am going to get so-called 13, out of which this 3, I am keeping it over here at unit position, and this 1 is basically my carry that I will throw out. This is a normal addition. Okay, so this is the result. Now what is to be done for 10th position? So it is 3 plus 2, so it comes out to be 5. Okay, so if I put 5 over here, whether I am going to get the correct result? So the answer is no, right? So what I should do? I should do one more addition. Okay, an addition with what? This generated carry from the previous stage. So this carry I need to add, right? So it becomes then 6, right? Then it becomes 6. And when I put 6 over here, then my obtained result, okay, is same as the desired result. You can see they are completely same, or they are equal. So my addition process is good. Okay. So what is happening? So here when I do this addition, you can see that I am not considering any carry, right? So such type of addition is called as half addition. It's called as half addition. And when I include the carry, that is, look at this particular thing, when I include the carry to get the final results. So how many additions I am doing here? You can look at it here. There I am doing 2 additions. So such type of addition is called as full addition. Okay. So we are supposed to develop 2 different circuits which are meant for half addition and full addition. Okay. So this is the case. So this we have looked at taking a decimal as an example because we are very comfortable with decimal addition. So now let us look at what are the rules. I already told you, but let us revise it here. So rules for binary additions. Okay, so what are the rules? First number is 0 plus 0. I am going to get my carry and sum as the result as 0 and 0. 0 plus 1. Parallelly, I suppose that you are also copying. It will be 0 and sum is 1. 1 plus 0 is 0 and sum is 1. And 1 plus 1 is what? 1 plus 1 is 2. And 2 of decimal is what? 1 0 in binary. So 1 0 means what? The sum is 0 and 1 carry will be generated. When the carry is generated, first you need to understand when the carry is generated. So let us take decimal example again. So whenever the maximum limit of any number system, say for example decimal, so maximum limit of decimal number system is 9. Okay, so whenever that level has reached, and if you want to show something more than that, then obviously the carry is generated. Okay, so here also in binary the maximum limit is 1. So when you are adding 1 to the 1, so what happens? The maximum limit will be reached, and beyond that if you want to represent, so obviously the carry will be generated. So this is the result of binary addition, or the rules for binary addition. Okay, so based on these rules, now let us generate a so-called adder circuit. And now we will be doing the half adder first, and then we will jump into full adder. So very quickly now we will be doing the half adder. So half adder circuit. So let's say I want to add 2 numbers. So it is A. So basically what I am trying to develop, I am trying to develop a black box. There are 2 inputs coming, say A and B, and I am going to get the outputs as sum and carry. So this black box I am trying to develop. So I have 2 inputs as A and B, and I am going to get the output as sum, okay, sum and carry. Okay, so I'll write it like this: carry and double R, carry and, just a moment, carry and sum. Okay, so AB can take values like this. Now it is known to you, there is no trouble at all. Okay, so 0 plus 0, sum is 0, carry is 0, 0 plus 1, sum is 1, carry is 0, 1 plus 0, sum is 1, carry is 0, 1 plus 1, the sum is 0, carry is 1. Okay, right? So this is the truth table available with me. Now, how many variables are there? 2 variables. Okay, so what I can do now, simply I'll follow the K map, two variable K map, A, B, 0, 1, 0, 1. And what are the inputs? Okay, for carry, let's say for, let's say for sum. So it is 0, 1, 1, 0, right? So I cannot form a diagonal group because two variable changes will be there. So I have to form a group like this and this. Okay, so the sum SOP equation comes as AB bar plus A bar B, which is nothing but A XOR B, right? Okay, and for carry, what happens? For carry, it is more easier than that. So A, B, 0, 1, 0, 1. So it is what? 0, 0, 0, 1. So carry will be A dot B, right? Okay. So how my half adder circuit will look like? A, B, they are my inputs. Okay. Now there is no restriction like basic gates and all. So I'll be directly using the XOR gate. So XOR. So this is my sum. And this is my AND, carry. Right? So this is simply my half adder. Okay, the addition of 9 plus 4. Now it is in basically in the binary form. So this is my half adder. Okay, and this can be represented like a square box. Okay, HA indicating the half adder. The inputs A and B, and the outputs are sum and carry. Okay, so this is my half adder circuit, right? So here we are not considering in the addition process whether there is a presence of any carry or not. Okay, so like we did the 9 plus 4 addition. So there we have done, we have not considered any previous carry. So it's fine that it is only adding the two numbers, so half addition. But in the next 10th position, we have done addition of, you can see here in just a moment. Here you can see that you have done the addition of 3 plus 2 and the carry generated of the previous stage. So we got this as a double addition, okay, or 2 times addition. So we got it as a full addition, right? So in the full addition, we need to consider the previous carry also, okay? So now we will do the full addition process. It is also simple. So the full addition, in the full addition, we have to consider the carry generated from the previous stage. So C in, A, B, they are my inputs. And again, I am going to get the output as C out, carry out, and my sum. Okay. So now there are 3 variables, right? So we have to go for 8 combinations, 3 variable case, K map. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So it is 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. And all these are 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. So now we do the addition. 0 plus 0. The output I am going to get sum I am going to get as 0. Carry I am going to get as 0. To that 0 you are adding 0. So obviously it is 0. Okay. So 0 plus 1. So sum is 1, no carry is generated. To that again you are adding 0, so there is no change. So similarly here there is no change. Now here 1 plus 1, so the sum is 0, and to that and we will have a carry C out as 1, and to that result you are adding 0, so it doesn't make any difference, right? So now here also you can see that 0 plus 0, it is 0. Okay, to that 0 you are adding this carry, that is 1. So obviously this 0 will no longer be 0, it will become 1, and no carry is generated. Here also 1 plus 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, so 1, 0. Now here 1 plus 0, right, it is same as this case. So again the output is 1 and 0. The last one is what? 1 plus 1 plus 1. So it is 3. 3 of decimal. And what is 3 of decimal? 1 1, right? In the binary. Or you can do it like this, that 1 plus 1. So what I got? 0 1. 1 0 I got, right? And this 1 0 plus this additional 1. Okay. So I got 1 1, and this is the result over here. Okay. So this is the way we can just do simply the full addition. Now what remain? We have to, since it is 3 variable, we have to go for 3 variable K-map, obtain the equation for C out and sum. So let us start with that. Okay. So I'll be using this part of the page. I can't do that. Okay. No trouble at all. So C in A and B. C in I have taken as MSB. So let's say I do it for sum. So it is 0 1 1. Okay. So 0 1 1. 0 1 1 0 1 double 0 1. 0 1 double 0 1. Okay. So diagonal elements cannot be grouped. So I have to have separate these things. So my sum is coming out to be C in A, C in bar A, okay, B bar plus C in A bar, B bar, okay, plus C in bar A bar B plus C in A B. If you rearrange and solve it, if you can form the groups and arrange them in a proper order, okay, so you can over here, right? So C in is common, so I'll just solve it for you. Okay, so C in bar, okay, A B bar plus A bar B. What I have added, what I have clubbed? I have clubbed this and this, okay, and next time I will club this and this. So plus C in A bar B bar plus AB. Okay. So this is coming out to be C in bar. Okay. This is what? This is XOR, right? So XOR. So it is XOR plus C in, and this is XNOR. So now using a simple rule that XNOR is nothing but not of XOR, right? So XNOR is nothing but not of XOR. So I'll be using it like this. So not of. Okay. So now you can look at it. Let's say this C in bar XOR. Okay, so I can call it as say Z. Okay, so what I'm getting, C in bar Z plus C in Z bar. What is this? This is nothing but XOR of C in Z. Okay, and what is Z? Z is nothing but A XOR B. So we know that it is with the Boolean algebra, it is XOR of A, XOR of B. Right? So this is my sum result. Okay, you can understand from here also, when the input combinations are like this, then it is XOR, and when it is, wherever it is 0 0 written, if the input combinations goes like that, then it is XNOR. Okay, so similarly now you can get the equation for C out. So I'll do it very quickly over here. Oh, sorry, I made it for 4 variable. Okay. C in A, B, so 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. So just 0, then 1, then 0, then triple 1. So I can form groups like this: first group, second group, and the third group. Now, simply I will write C out. Now you can get it. So it is C in A plus AB plus C in B. Okay. So A, what is this? AB? A is A is constant AB, then C in A, and then C in B. Okay, so this is your C out. So now you can use any basic gates or any type of gates, okay, and you can implement the circuit for this particular C out and sum. Okay, so when you implement this, finally you are going to get or the circuit. Now I think you can do that circuit. So you are going to get an output, okay, where you will have C in as your input, two numbers A and B, one bit each, okay, and the outputs are C out and sum. So whatever circuit you are going to get, okay, that can be represented as a simple box in a full adder box, okay, like this. And in the center, it is written as FA, that is short form for full add. Okay. So here we have done just one bit addition. If you apply this type of boxes parallelly, so if it is 4 times, if it is repeated, then it becomes 4-bit adder. 8 times, if it is repeated, then it is 8-bit adder. 16 times, 16-bit adder. 3 times, 3-bit adder, and so on. Okay. So this is the simple circuit of addition. Okay. Okay. Do you have a class now?
Yes, actually, we are having ACD lab at 4.
Okay. Acha, just let me know if you have any free slot, maybe at 4 p.m. on any day, so that we can also have a lab at that particular timing slot.
Okay, so surely I will let you know.
Okay. So we'll stop for today. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And
Okay.
we'll continue in next class.
Yes, sir. Thank you.